When you're young, you really don't know what your purpose is because you spend your youth trying to find it. I was lucky enough to know what my purpose was before I knew what a lot of people knew what theirs was. When I went to Valencia, I didn't know how I would react to the environment of college in general, but I had a class called SLS, New Student Experience, that helped me with a lot of things. Now, by this time, I already had a really big interest in things like anime, cartoons, and I watched it all the time, so it inspired me to own my drawing skills. And eventually, I figured that I wanted to get into animation because I really like to draw things that I saw, and I kept improving on that, and I kept it consistent, and I just kept drawing ever since I was in the second grade. So the New Student Experience really opened up a lot of doors for me. Around this time, I was getting into my third job, but it was probably one of my favorite jobs, and one that didn't pay, outstanding or anything, but I really loved it. And I think it made me realize that when I work in the future, I want to do something that I love. And I love what I do now as an animator. I really do. That job, I was a retail sales associate at Uniqlo, which was at Disney Springs. And over the years, I developed my skills in education at Valencia to go to UCF. And there, I decided to pursue a computer science degree. And I figured the computer science degree would help me get into all things that I enjoyed doing because I love to edit videos, I love to make music, I love to animate, more importantly, and that all ties into a computer area. So I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do already, but New Student Experience really helped me decide completely on what I was pursuing, and that was this bachelor's at UCF for computer science. And I had a transfer plan from Valencia, but there was always obstacles. There's always going to be obstacles for whatever you want to pursue. Some of my obstacles was probably the schedules I had for work, but I still liked it regardless. Some of the other obstacles I had were sometimes homework or classes would get stressful, but you have to kind of adapt to these things depending on how much you want to get into what you're doing. And if you really love what you do, you shouldn't let any obstacles stop you. You have to adapt to certain things too much homework. You have to make a schedule for yourself, and that's exactly what I did. And I still do it now because there's never not going to be obstacles, but I continue to adapt as an animator for struggles I face with my scheduling, with how much workload I get, and the New Student Experience helped me polish that through the 5 themes they gave me in that class. And at around that time, I got into an internship at Universal Studios, and I moved up into the ranks of animation, and I became a really important animator that made what you would know as Spectrum. And you all probably know that show by now because it's on Nickelodeon, and that's who I work for right now. I'm an animator at Nickelodeon Studios. And to be an animator specifically, you should really have a sense of commitment and some type of patience for what you create. You have to be able to endure all that, and you're gonna have to work with people, and SLS developed that part too and helped me improve on it, and I really, looking back on it, I thank them. And how I was able to complete my degree at both Valencia and UCF, I was using the library, the Math Depot, especially with math being my weakest point. I did things to strengthen myself so I would be ready for my future. As young as I was when I was in Valencia, I made a lot, and with hard work, commitment, and dedication, you really can do anything. And I made a few videos that I'm going to show right now that can show you exactly that.
Is this thing on? Oh, there we go. Hey man, I'm Toasty, and just wait for it. You'll see me soon.
That's one of the two videos I worked very hard on while I was at Valencia, and it really came out exactly how I imagined. And my purpose really revolved around bringing something new to animation for any type of cartoon at all. And I really wanted to use my experiences to relate through people with what I was animating. So that really tied into my purpose, which was to impact the world with what I was doing in my profession. But more importantly, I really like to see people happy, and other people's happiness made me happy. So that tied in a lot into what my purpose was, and I really just wanted to do something that would make other people happy. And since anime made me happy, I kind of wanted to make it mine so I could make other people happy as well. And for many people who have seen my show already, I feel it's done just that. And I had this passion ever since I was little. And I couldn't do it by myself, of course. If you ever have a passion, it helps a lot to have other people who are as passionate as you, friends, family, those who will support you, and it will really help a lot. Finding those type of people to support you could really get you on the right track for maybe even finding what your passion is. My purpose was to impact the world in some way, and I believe with everybody that I've met, they've helped me do just that. Whatever your passion is, chase it, and be happy with whatever you're gonna do with your future.